back here to the show. Today we have a very special guest. He is a radio host and, of course, an anchor for the UAAP, one of the pioneers of ABS-CBN. The list goes on for this accomplished kapamilya. Let's give it up for Boom Gonzalez. Yes, pioneer.
Pioneer. ABS-CBN, 65 years, so...
Hindi ba? Hindi ba? Alam naman natin eh.
But it's nice to be back here in UST where my mom studied.
Yes, wow.
Here, she's a journalism student. My brother, also from here.
Pero you didn't go to UST.
I did not. I went to small schools.
Bakit ba?
Do you want to start there talaga?
Hindi.
Well, hindi. When I was growing up, we really didn't have money. During the time, and we couldn't afford to go to big schools, big
The
universities.
UAP schools.
Regardless, so I had to go to mga eskwela that I could, like my parents could afford. That's why I also worked very early in life. So,
And now you're here.
yeah,
Yeah?
nice to be back to UST. I never had studios like this when I was a production.
As a communication student.
Yeah,
Oo.
these are really nice.
But how have you been? Okay lang ba?
I'm good. I'm good.
Doing
I'm
good?
excited.
Doing good?
UAP is open, at least a basketball
Yes.
tournament. So
I think the last one you announced for was with Bea Daes.
the last UP-UST game, yes,
Yes.
this was with Bea. The last game I did was was one after that. I did another game after that, but the UP-UST, there was a lot of hype for that game. I was so excited when I knew I was gonna do that game because I knew it was going to be two fan bases.
Right.
That, in honesty, I've told a lot of my friends in the business, these are two fan bases that I want to see in the finals before I ever retire in the UAP. I mean that.
Kasi hindi pa.
Yeah, because I've never covered a UP-UST finals. I mean, can you imagine that? Whether it's volleyball or basketball, para ka nagdalawang cheering competition
Right.
in eskwela against each other. Araneta's not going to be enough
Yes.
for a UP-UST showdown. So I was very excited for that. Biases aside, as some people
Yes.
would say. Just from a fan base standpoint, I think the students from UST and UP, they're really, they get really
That
passionate.
goes there.
Yeah,
And that UP fight.
There's nothing like it. These are things that I really love about the UAP.
And what I really admire about your job, what I really like to see is that parang ganun, si Bea Daes. Like, there's now a woman analyst
Right.
for men's basketball. Like, throughout the years, you've been able to partner with so many people and experience so many amazing games.
Yep.
How did you get into it, though? How did you become
I was a
this
walk-in.
sports anchor?
I was a walk-in. I got rejected the first time that I applied for the PBA. I was in college. I started very early. Like I said, I had to work early because, to pay for my education. I know I auditioned for the PBA. I was rejected for the PBA, and rightfully so, because I was too young.
How old, if I may
At
ask?
that time, I was, I think, 19 when I...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when I...
Grabe, very young, very
yeah, but
young.
I was already in radio while I was in
Okay.
college kasi. So I had a little bit of broadcasting experience from a radio standpoint, and I really wanted to get into it. So I was denied the entry in the PBA because I was young. And I didn't have the experience. And that was fine. This is a funny story. I'll try to shorten it. On my way home from that audition, I had to go through a couple of directors during the interviews. On the way home, I rode a jeep going straight home. When I got home, my dad said that the studio called. Sabi ko, kakagaling ko lang doon, right? And they said, a guy named Chino Trinidad, who was the head of the PBL at the time, Philippine
Okay.
Basketball League, heard about me through the directors. And they were looking for young ones. They were looking for upstarts. So they said if I was willing to start from scratch. And I said, of course, that's why I applied. So he asked me to come over. I remember having a 39-degree fever that day that he asked me to come over, but I went anyway, yeah? Because, you never know.
Yep.
You might blow the
Opportunity yun eh.
Right. So I went. We talked for like good 45 minutes basketball, broadcasting, all of that. And then Chino just said, okay, if let's say the interview was Monday, say, okay, Wednesday, you do your first game.
Whoa,
That's
no
it.
training, no
Nothing.
anything.
Yeah, no nothing. And this guy who's going to be a partner, his name, the late Barry Pasqua, He's going to be a partner. He's a senior. He's going to, alalayan ka and all that. And I said, okay. And then if I blew it, then I blew it. Then after that, he took me in.
But you did good.
I wouldn't say, I mean, you have to ask him. But
I mean, he kept you.
did good enough for him to keep me. A year later, the PBA called me, and then I started doing the PBA.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a nice feeling.
Incredible. It's amazing.
For
amazing
2 years,
talaga.
I did the PBA and the PBL before the UAP called me in 2002.
And now you're here.
And I have not left the UAP or ABS-CBN Sports since 2000.
And sana talaga hindi umalis, no?
Yeah, hindi pa naman
You
ako
love Boom.
pinapapansin. So,
But speaking, like, I love Boom. Pero
Thank you.
alam natin, maraming nagbabash sa'yo,
Yeah,
no?
yeah, that's
Dami
part of it.
talaga. And, like, when I was going to reserve your parking spot for this show, kahit yung mga guard, they're like, Lasal yan eh.
right.
I was like, no, he's not. He's
Yeah.
Miriam.
right. I get it from all schools. It depends who's winning and who's losing.
Whoever's winning
Okay,
in yung school mo.
Since I'm here in UST, I'll tell you a UST story. In 2006, when you guys won the championship, it was a great run of probably one of my all-time favorite UST teams. The Ateneans hated me during that time because they thought I was biased. That series for UST. So, and then you shift to basketball, the 5 years that Ateneo won.
You're an
biased for
Atenean.
Yeah. But in the same year, LaSalle Volleyball was winning 4 straight titles. Bias naman ako sa LaSalle. So it's never right.
You can never win.
And I get it. The UAP's fans and students are very passionate, so they're emotionally involved.
They're attached.
Yeah, so that something sparks their ire a little bit, na medyo may masabi kang hindi natutuwa sa kanila or nakakatuwa sa kanila, they'll think it's because of this. When really, like I said, my mom's from UST, my brother's from UST, my other brother's from FEU. I had, but because Ateneo and LaSalle, obviously the more popular rivalry, yun yung dalawa. Sometimes I get it in a restroom.
Restroom
and
ba?
somebody comes up to me so drunk, he says, "Yo, my LaSalle brother." Yeah. Sometimes I'm buying
Crazy.
coffee at a coffee shop, and a parent from behind me will say, "Oh, I love you. You're so for Ateneo." I've got a ton of stories like that. Yeah, so
Ay, grabe.
back then, hindi yung pinapansin yung NU. Diba? Dati, they were always last. And then the Ray Parks era came in when they were
right.
getting to the... And I would get all these accusations that, binabayaran ka siguro ni ganito.
Naku.
So it's part of it. And I'll tell you the truth. The early years, it's painful, of course, just like anybody. But you get used to it because you understand where they're coming from. I mean, I'm not saying they're right. I'm just saying it's their right to say these things.
Yes.
I'm not going to engage
As
them.
fans,
Right.
as people that go to
Yes.
these schools.
I'd rather have that than people who don't care at all about
right.
the UAP. I'll take that anytime. Because it's me. I'm okay. I'm not an athlete. I'm not artista or athlete. So I'll just take it. It's fine. I know the truth. I'm still here, 17 years of doing the UAP. So I guess I'm still doing something right, But absolutely have no inclination with any school in terms of my wish for these things. Ang gusto ko is balance. I'll tell you why. You
Yes,
cover
yes.
games, Cassie,
Yes.
right? You hate it pag tambakan yung games.
Honestly, I've had this conversation. I said, usually, if there's a volleyball game that I'll announce for, if there's strong teams, I'll always hope for 5 sets.
Right, exactly.
If they're mahina, sana whoever won the first set
Sana matapos na.
for 3 sets.
It's the same with basketball or volleyball. The bigger the lead, the harder it is for us anchors. The better the games, the better it is easier
Yes.
for us anchors because you don't have to manufacture
The
excitement.
yeah.
Right? So for us, my pure wish ever since I joined the UAP is that all these 8 schools are competing.
At that level.
Yes, hindi yung, oh my God, the last 2 schools are so bad that
Yeah.
we have had years like that, right? So it makes the job harder for me. But if all schools, sabihin na natin, in reality, like 7 schools are super competitive, then mostly you're going to get really good games, which makes the job easier, mean more fun. You don't have to manufacture excitement. You don't have to fake it.
Yes.
So my wish for the UAP has always been about parity. It's not about a school making it.
Not one team that rules the league.
Yeah, it's about a parity. And if there's any wish that I've had, it's that UPST finals just because of the
Yes.
fan base.
Just because we haven't seen it yet.
Yes, because the fan base, when you do a game, I've done the cheer dance competition for what, 7 years, 6 years? It's crazy. I would love to see that in a basketball or volleyball game.
It's that buzz in the arena
Yeah, it's
talaga.
crazy.
Oo.
You live for that stuff.
But with your sports career, we all know that's very accomplished. Like, you're still doing it after all these years, from 19 years old until now. Pero that's also opened many other doors for you. Like, specifically for me ha, kasi I don't know if you guys follow Boom sa Instagram, pero like he's interviewed LeBron James, he's gone to the NBA Finals, Stephen Curry. Like, talk about that, your hosting. What's been the coolest experience?
I've been lucky, obviously. I went to the NBA. I think I made 13 trips to the NBA in 8 years. 8 years, yeah.
That's like all-stars and
All-Stars
finals.
Yeah, so we get sent there to cover. So me as a broadcasting student, I geek out when I'm there because I learn the behind-the-scenes
Absolutely.
stuff. I mean, the first few years, obviously, the athletes, you're all about the game. Oh my God. But then after the 5th, 6th trip, my excitement goes to the production now. How do they do this? How do they execute this? I'm attending production meetings. It's also super good for a student, for a broadcasting student, or former broadcasting student in my case. But yes, the NBA is great. I also got affiliated with a brand, obviously. I don't know if I can mention it.
Yes,
here.
you can go
Okay,
ahead.
So in 2006, Nike signed me as one of the first non-athlete ambassadors or endorsers. And since then, I've been hosting their athlete tours. Kobe 3 times, LeBron James 3 times,
Grabe.
Kevin Durant, Paul George, Jordan Clarkson. So I've been lucky from that standpoint. And then, of course, you go to the NBA and you meet all of the other.
What was the athlete that parang, oh my, I don't think I can speak?
Oh, it's Michael Jordan when I saw him. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. It's like
Goosebumps.
But yeah, you know, seeing the greats of the game and the current crop of athletes, and then your co-broadcasters from other countries. Kasi you get sent there and you're with people from France, from Serbia. We've met so many people that I've gotten in touch with and stayed in touch with somehow, some way, from different countries.
You get to connect with all these different cultures.
We see them every All-Star and NBA.
Sila pa rin.
Yes, and some of them come over here. They'll invite me, let's say, to a
Wow.
beach. When they, vacation.
How
when they go
fun.
scuba diving, yeah. These are all the side stories. But yeah, the NBA and these athletes and hosting these big events in front of, you know, a lot of people, hosting the biggest names in let's say, basketball. I also worked the UFC for 8 years.
Oh, wow. Oo
So,
nga pala.
I did host, I think, 6 athletes here who came over from the UFC. George St. Pierre, you know, all the
big names.
Yeah, in the UFC for those MMA fans out there.
But also, hindi lang TV ginagawa mo, the hosting, the TV stuff. Sinabi mo nga, nagsimula ka sa radio.
I did start in radio, yes.
And then now you have the Nines and then Backyard, all these different stuff. How do you make time for everything?
That's a good question.
Diba? And plus,
wondered.
you're so fit. Ay, yun nga na naman, follow niyo si Boom.
Wondered.
Kasi him and Carla, they're like this power athletic couple talaga.
No, not really.
So how do you make time for everything, your lifestyle?
Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest, I would say, talents is being able to compartmentalize and budget time and prioritize and see what's important, know my schedule, and how to fulfill all of these both responsibilities and passions, because some of them are responsibilities, some of them are really passions. Like the business stuff, it's a responsibility. Obviously, I'm trying to dabble here and there just to discover if I have, you know, a little bit of an itch for retail,
Right.
Nines, or food, or construction. I have, you know, some involvement in that too. But these are all born from parang having yung doing what I loved, which was media, was broadcasting. And if I have a little extra money set aside and extra time set aside, I'll do that. But my passion and my love has always been sports and radio and TV. You know, I've always wanted to be an athlete. I was back in the day before I got injured. And then since I can't, so I just cover the athletes.
Right.
It's this next best thing, I guess.
And it's really amazing, like your life talaga. That's why so many people idolize you, just because of everything that you do has passion in it. Whether it be with retail, whether it be with food, sports especially, radio. Everything you do has
Thank
you put in it, and that's why people love you.
Well, you know what? I'm always awkward when people say that.
Oh,
I don't-
syempre,
because I
what
don't-
do you say?
Yeah, I don't want to think it's true because my guiding principle, and I just had this talk maybe around 2 weeks ago with a bunch of students who were trying to get on TV, courtside reporters, and all that. One of my guiding principles is always to think that it's not about me. You know, when I go, I know it's hard to do that these days with social media, me, right? What can I get? What can I do? How do I look? But when I think about the UAP or sports broadcasting or even hosting in general, I always try to think that it's not about me. It's about the league. It's about the athletes. It's about the broadcast. I call it the product, which is the whole broadcast, you know, including the game. My job is just to facilitate conversations.
Right.
I don't want to draw attention to myself. I'm not conscious of having a sound bite that kailangan ako yung nag-describe. If people like it, then they do. If they don't, it's fine. My important thing is I guide my analyst, who, regardless of whether I'm training them or not, like in the case of Bea, courtside reporters this year and in the past, I always make sure that we're always on the same page when we go on air, so that they will look good. And if they look good, I look good. That's very good for me. I'm not trying to be noble or anything, but I always say if the broadcast and the production looks good, just like you guys, right? Everybody's gonna look good. You know, you may be the face, but they can totally screw you up.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? Same with
The
me.
team.
Yeah,
About the
same with
team.
me. I may be the lead anchor, but that doesn't mean it's about me. It's about the game. I mean, even if I'm bad at what I do, if the game is good, then okay lang tayo, di ba? So it's never been about me. I always try not to focus on that part of the broadcasting.
And I think that's a great message, and that's what a lot of people, parang kulang eh. Kulang sa world natin ngayon, kulang sa mindset ng mga young students, young aspiring professionals. And so, like, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. We're going to be going to a quick break. Then when we come back, we're going to have a quick game with Boom before he leaves.
I'm bad at games.
Don't go away.